How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffled Rowlett, and welcome to a brand new video, guys. Today, in this video, we got some spicy things, guys. Some potential hints and some potential things that we want to take a look at. So, there's a lot of worries that can be made out of this one. It's going to be a bit of a different type of, discussion that was discovered by a viewer. So, I've got to give a mad shout out to the person who sent this to me, which is Dimitri Viterson on freaking Twitter. Also, my man says he's a fan of, I think Ajax. Yeah, he's an Ajax fan. So shout out to you, man. Ajax is freaking awesome, man. I think, didn't they destroy Real Madrid the other day? Like, last month? I think they destroyed them, dude. Either way, cheers to that, man. Always good to, see some Ajax fans around. So, dude, seriously though, man, this is a cool discovery, and some of you guys may be a little bit confused. It's gonna have a little bit to do with Pokemon Go, but also Sword and Shield. This is a very Sword and Shield related topic, so I want to go through this. But before we do that, guys, just want to do a little bit of a plug. Shirts, guys. The shirts are on sale. I'm loving this design. I really hope you guys will pick one up. I've got my own coming in very soon. I ordered the red shirt, the red hoodie, if you know what I'm talking about. It's looking spicy as hell. So yeah, if you want to pick one of those up, it's going to be a link down below in the description for you guys to check out the shirts. Either way, thanks so much for hearing me out on that. Now let's get into the actual information. So, we're going to start with this image right here. So, this is the image from Pokemon Go. This is, of course, his image sent to me by, again, Dimitri. He sent this and he said something very interesting, which is, has anybody noticed that the gyms in Pokemon Go look the same as they do in Sword and Shield? Which is very true. Very true. And you may be a little confused, like, what's he talking about? What does that even mean? Well, look at this. Now, compare these two images right here. Do a little bit of like, I'm going to give you like that meme, like, do, ding! And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. These are the same. These are the same. Of course, the one in Sword and Shield is a bit thinner and, like, not as wide. The one in Pokemon Go is way wider. But we've got the same entrance thing going on here. And you may think, like, oh, but there's nothing special about that. It's just an entrance, right? What's the deal? Well, here's the thing, right? In normal Pokemon gyms in Pokemon mainline games, you don't enter like this. You don't enter like this. There's never an entrance like this. You don't go in like all like, I'm about to like F some shit up. You don't enter like that. You just don't. It's just not a commonality within these games. It's just not something that happens. So it's a very strange thing when it does happen, and you're sitting there kind of like confused about what's going on. So for those who do not know, we have an important factor about Pokemon gyms we got to keep in mind, right? Nintendo accidentally tweeted out, Nintendo of America's Twitter account, this is true, by the way, Nintendo of America's Twitter account tweeted out saying, a bunch of random stuff, and then mentioning that you're going to be taking on Gym Masters in these games. Now, Gym Masters aren't Gym Leaders. Gym Masters and Gym Leaders are two different words. They're different words, okay? I mean, totally different. I'm not sure if they're totally different, but they're different, okay? They're different. The Gym Leaders, we know what Gym Leaders are. We've been, dealing with Gym Leaders for the past, like, 6 generations, because they weren't in Alola, but, 6 generations, we dealt with Gym Leaders, right? We know how they work. We know what the deal is with Gym Leaders. But we do not know shit about Gym Masters. What are Gym Masters? What's the, difference between these two? What's the difference between them? How does that make any difference? Well, ladies and gentlemen, what if, and I want to give a little bit of a theory here, okay? It's a little bit of a theory, so to keep that in mind. What if we're going to be able to place our own characters in Pokemon, the same way we do in Pokemon Go, in these gyms after we defeated them? Now, what do I mean by this? Well, imagine like this, right? I think these gym leaders will only use one certain type of Pokemon, and maybe you're only allowed to use the same type of Pokemon against them, or only use the same amount of Pokemon against them, and if you defeat them, you can put your own Pokemon in there, your, let's say, Grass-type Pokemon for the Grass-type gym, you can put them in there, and the same way you do in Pokemon Go, right? Because it's Pokemon Go, but it's not typing-based in Pokemon Go. In Pokemon Go, you can put your Pokemon in there. I mean, even look like what, look what your boy over there's got actually using. He's got Tyranitar, he's got Groudon, he's got Rhyhorn, he's got like some good shit in there, you know what I mean? So what if he used, like, for example, like in the trailer we saw Tyranitar, what if you're able to leave your Pokemon in there, maybe even through the Pokemon Go app, because they're looking for connectivity between this thing and this thing. They're looking between, connectivity between these two, you know what I mean? They're looking for that, and they've already done that somewhat, and also accidentally just opened a Survey tweet, apparently about the Sun and Moon series, the Ultra Legends now available on iTunes. Cool, that's good to know. Either way, but this is what I'm talking about, right? They've already managed to make connectivity between these two a thing. It exists already in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. You can already do that to a major extent, right? It's already a thing. So the big question that I want to ask is, how far will that go? Will we be able to do something like, let's say hypothetically, right? We play Sword and Shield, and then we have a connection between the two games. And right, for example, let's say I'm like out in town, and I've got this app, weird app, right, with this Pokemon Sword and Shield app, and on it, I'm like, you know what? I see my gym, it's got some, you know, I've got a few Pokemon I put in there, right? Let's say I put you know, 3 Pokemon in there, but I want to change those Pokemon out. So you take your phone up, you're like, okay, cool. Let me just put something else in there, you know what I mean? To keep my gym up and going, you know what I mean? And basically every time somebody takes on your gym through the online, you know, gameplay, if somebody takes your gym online through the gameplay, they can get like coins and money and in-game like perks by defeating you, and of course taking your position away from you and gaining perks from it, while you, if you defeat them in your NPC defense, you gain from that, you know what I mean? I think that would be really cool, but of course that would be way harder to pull off, because the thing with Pokemon Go is that there's so many gyms in the world that you can like walk around and like take on in like real life. There's so many of those, so it's a bit of a different... It's a bit of a different category, right? It's a little bit of a different kind of thing. It's kind of hard to compare the two because you'll work with 2 different kind of situations. But I think if this was a, you know, possibility that we're able to kind of like, you know, defeat these gyms, and if these gyms work similarly to like how they work in Pokemon, you know, Go, which would make sense, because I think Pokemon Go has a few cool, you know, features. Like the battling is not really that interesting because it's just kind of swipe, swipe, tap, tap, swipe, swipe, tap, 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 swipe, swipe, tap, tap, swipe, swipe, tap, 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 tap. Swipey, swipey, tappy, tappy. You know what I mean? That's literally what the gameplay kind of comes down to. But I think the PvP game mode they've added to the Pokemon Go app, the one that where you can have like, you know, shield yourself a few times. I think twice. I think you can shield yourself twice. I'm not sure though. I'm not 100% sure about it though. But you can basically shield yourself a few times. And what if we could do that in Pokemon, you know, Sword and Shield? What if we were able to, in these gym battles specifically, able to shield ourselves against shit that's coming against us? Like, that would be amazing, and I think this would be a cool feature to have post Elite Four, right? Like, after you're done with the Elite Four, you can basically be like, oh, cool, now I can go back to these gyms, I can rebattle them and put my own Pokemon in there, right? Like, that would be one of, if not the coolest feature they could add in. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Pokemon Go. I know a lot of my audience doesn't like Pokemon Go. I am not even a big fan of Pokemon Go. I just don't like it that much. I'm gonna be honest. It's a cool game. If they could have made it like a lot of the features that exist today, if those features were there on day 1, I would have loved the game. But they weren't there on day 1, like PvP and a bunch of other shit. You know what I mean? Trading, for example, like trading literally took them ages to get out. Like, you know, those are essential things that need to be in a Pokemon game. If anything carries the Pokemon name, I feel like it should be able to do those important things. I mean, especially something like this that ended up being humongously huge, and especially like, you know, was also worked upon by people like Masuda, and, you know, had influence on that. I feel like a game like that, a game that carries the Pokemon name, needs to have PvP, because, you know, battling between friends, that's a thing that's been in Pokemon since day 1. Trading between friends, it's been in Pokemon since day 1. That's why they made 2 copies of the game, you know, in Japan, of course, red and green, because they wanted to, you know, get people to buy the cable they use between the Game Boys and all that. That's why they did that. That's why they wanted people to buy those. You know what I mean? That's how they promoted them. And that's why we still have, like, you know, the kind of, I mean, nowadays we have the double games because, well, it's more money. But, you know, you get the point. I think you get the general gist of what I'm trying to get across here. But yeah, back to the thing I was trying to say, though. So the point I'm trying to make here is that, honestly, I'm not even joking. I think this could be one of the coolest features they could ever have tried to pull off. Like, genuinely, I personally love this. Like, I think this could be just amazing. But then again, it's all just, you know, speculation. But I want to ask you guys in the comment section down below. Let me know, okay? Let me know, ladies and gentlemen. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think there's a possibility we might see gyms similar to Pokemon Go? Ugh. Don't eat sandwiches. But seriously though, I want to know, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section down below. Do you think there's a possibility we'll see stuff like this? Do you think there's a possibility we'll actually see things, you know, like Pokemon Go features, like this Pokemon Go feature in the games? Now, I know a lot of people don't want that. I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of Pokemon Go shit I don't want to see in these games. For example, I don't want to see no throwing this, if I have to do this again, this for like 24 hours straight, no, that ain't happening. No, just no. Big no. Big no. Massive no. Just not happening. I'm not dealing with that shit again. But if they're gonna include features like this, like rebattling gyms to put your own Pokemon in there and be like the gym leader of that place, and then people through online play can come in there and battle you and shit like that, I think that would be a fantastic feature to have. Honestly, I think it would be one of the best features they've ever created for Pokemon. I mean, rather, one of the best features they've taken from another Pokemon product and shoved into a different Pokemon product. I think it would be fantastic. And of course, there's, you know, a lot of speculation about how this could work. Who knows? Maybe they can even do raids and that sort of stuff in there. I mean, honestly, you gotta remember, right? This game started development around the same time Pokemon Go was already like being finished up and released, right? Because I think Pokemon Go came around like what, 2016, 2015? Actually, let's see, Pokemon Go release. So just so we know exactly the exact release date. so we don't get it wrong, was released on the 6th of July 2016, right? That's like shortly before that, or not shortly, but like a chunk of time before that, at the start of 2016, give or take, that's when, you know, Sword and Shield was starting its development. Actually, even before that, Sword and Shield started its development. So that game was, you know, already in development. These games, the Sword and Shield games, were already in development by the time Pokemon Go was already getting released. So I wouldn't be surprised if at the same time they were working on Pokemon Go, they were also working on Sword and Shield, and they, you know, they might have seen like, huh, when this works for this, why don't we try it in here as well? Or, you know, why don't we try this in this? Like, this could work. And I mean, look at it. The entrances look identical, for crying out loud. Now, I know this has been a long topic about a small thing. I was actually going to cover a different rumor in this video, but it's already getting pretty long into a video, and I don't want this to be 20 minutes long, because that's how long it's going to be if I covered the other thing I wanted to cover in this video. But I thought, at least this way, we'll run through this thing, talk about it, discuss it, get all the points about it. I mean, literally, I thought I was going to talk about this for only 2 minutes, but the more I thought about it, you know, as I was thinking about this, as I was looking at it, the more I thought about it, the more things came to my mind, the possibilities that exist with this system. There's so many possibilities. Like, I can't even wait to see what they can pull off. They could do the whole like defense offense thing, which, you know, would make sense with Sword and Shield, which are sword is offense, shield is defense. They could do that. They could also do just the fact you can rebattle these gyms, put your own Pokemon in there, etc., etc. There's so many possibilities, ladies and gentlemen. There's so many possibilities. By the way, that's going to be the end of the video. If you guys did enjoy, then drop a like down below. And thank you so much for watching. My name's been, of course, Ruffle as per usual. If you guys did enjoy the video, then feel free to subscribe for more. And also, guys, check out our shirt designs. They're still on sale. Do check them out. Give them some love. If you guys wouldn't mind, that would be appreciated. I would gladly thank you all for doing so if you do. It would be very much appreciated. Thank you if you do. Those shirts, they're looking fine. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you all next one. Have a great day, and peace out, ladies and gents. Bye.